Hello everyone. Welcome back to today's palm reading session. In this video, I will explore with you the special lines on the palm to better understand personality, destiny, as well as the opportunities and challenges waiting for you in life. The hand is not just a tool for labor, it is also a map revealing many things about each person's fate and development path. Based on the mounts, lines, and special signs, I will analyze in detail to help you better orient yourself on the journey ahead. If you find this resonates with you, please leave a comment sharing your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more interesting content about physiognomy, spirituality, and life direction. Now, let's begin the palm reading. This is the hand of a male client born in 1979 who sent it to us. You can book a palm reading appointment via the email provided below in the description. First, looking overall at this hand. For a man, this is a relatively thick hand type. The mounts in the palm are quite prominent. With palm lines that are this dark, it basically does not mean the person has health problems, but actually it is due to skin pigmentation, so it does not affect much. On this hand, especially the mount of Venus, this is one of the very important mounts. People who have a prominent mount of Venus like this usually have good health, and moreover, they are often well protected. In addition, this hand has a relatively straight thumb, which shows that the person is determined and highly independent. Furthermore, on the hand, there is a very special feature. This person has a triple palm, meaning the headline and the lifeline are not connected, creating quite a large gap like this. Usually, people who have such a hand tend to be quite ambitious and very independent from a young age. Their personality can be a bit stubborn and headstrong, and when they grow up, they always tend to want to be in control, like being the master. Even when working for others, they always think they do not want to depend on anyone and have very strong personal opinions. This person also has a fairly high practical nature. Finally, on this hand, there is also a notable point that the lifeline runs relatively long and curves around the entire mount of Venus. It shows that deep inside, this person is extremely loving toward family and lives for their family. No matter where they go or what they do, their heart only wants to return to their family. This hand tends to show that in youth, the person is quite extroverted and likes to be active, often going out to do business and hustle. They may go abroad or to distant provinces to establish their career. During this process, this person often experiences luck, encounters good opportunities, and receives support and help from outsiders. However, once they have stable conditions, people with this type of hand usually want to return to their family and homeland. Because deep inside, they always think a lot about their family. On the thumb, right in this area, there is a horizontal line. This is one of the good signs. This sign shows that the person values money and material things very much and tends to be frugal. Combined with these relatively close finger gaps, it indicates that this person has the ability to accumulate wealth over the long term. And if in life there is some mishap, such as loss of money, this person still tends to save and build up again. However, this hand also has a weakness, which is the lifeline. At the beginning of the lifeline, there is a quite large break. It is a distinct break located around the age of 25 to about 28 years old. This is a sign that a sudden event is likely to occur during this period. For example, it could be an unexpected accident or external factors affecting health. Nevertheless, this hand has great luck. Why? Because right at the break area appears a rectangle, also called a square, right at the break point. This is one of the protective signs. The square represents protection, a certain framework that helps the person, and it appears exactly in the Mount of Mars area, which represents luck and spirituality. Therefore, it can be said that this person is protected by spirituality or some invisible power that helps them overcome difficulties. Even if during the age of 25 to 28, there may be accidents or crises, this person still has the ability to overcome them. This is very fortunate. For example, sometimes people encounter unexpected accidents and don't understand why they can survive, and that is thanks to this protection. This is one of the extremely good signs. On this hand, after the later part of the lifeline, it basically runs very clearly. However, during this period, there is also a line cutting into it. With this relatively deep cut, it lies roughly between the ages of 40 and 45. This is a period when life is also very likely to experience upheavals or changes. This cutting line causes stagnation. It may not affect health, but life will face considerable pressure, and it doesn't stop there. Near the middle area of the lifeline, another very long line appears. Although it does not cut into the lifeline, it also tends to be very strong and deep. This is also one of the unfavorable signs. This sign appears around the age of 55. There may be some health impacts, but they are not very serious accidents. Therefore, you don't need to worry too much. It is best to be careful about traveling and health issues, but without excessive concern about life-threatening impacts. In fact, with this hand, you are very fortunate to have a long lifespan, with such a long lifeline that has already passed the broken stage. Additionally, there is a wrist bracelet line below the wrist, which represents a person with a long lifespan. Usually, people like this have a lifespan over 85 years. Besides, this hand has a prominent Mount of Venus. This is a sign of a person who is protected, blessed, and chosen to bear a lot of responsibility for their family. Regarding the career path, your headline splits into two branches like a fishtail. With a bifurcated headline, this usually indicates a multi-talented person, skilled in many arts, and with a strong desire to learn. In life, such a person will usually have multiple jobs, possibly 2, 3, or more professions. They also have a great passion for creativity. Moreover, your fingertips are relatively round, representing a person with very good creative ability, who always has creative thinking in their work. For someone with a bifurcated headline like this, it can be said that their youth goes through many fluctuations and challenges. This is a person who tends to be reflective, always asking many questions about themselves and life, and often feeling dissatisfied with the present. They tend to want change, to break out of their comfort zone, to find a path more suitable for themselves. Because of that, they often go through many job and career changes, making their youth unstable. This person often tries many different jobs, knowing a little about each, but not delving deeply into any one field for too long, which leads to an early career lacking depth and stability. However, this does not mean they lack ability. Rather, they are on a journey of self-discovery, learning through trial and error, and gaining experience from real-life situations. In terms of fortune, this hand indicates a fairly comfortable destiny, not one of poverty. You have a strong fate line running upward from the wrist, which represents a person with determination and clear direction after a shaky youth. More importantly, near the base of the palm, you also have two blessing triangles. These are especially auspicious signs symbolizing stable accumulation, financial luck, and silent support from family, ancestors, or benefactors. Your youth may have been tough, requiring you to be self-reliant and take bold steps, but from around age 55 onward, your fortunes will clearly improve. You will have the opportunity to enjoy the fruits of your own labor, achieving stability and fulfillment in your later years, both materially and spiritually. While your career may not be dazzling or stand out compared to others, you are someone who knows contentment, and that is the key to true happiness. Being satisfied with what you have helps you live optimistically, think positively, and spread good energy to those around you. Another notable feature is that your palm shows many lines pointing upward. These lines symbolize a positive inner spirit, always moving forward. They show that you are a person who dares to think and act, has a progressive mindset, and never settles for stagnation. Even if your youth was at times directionless, lacking motivation or clear goals, if you learn to listen to yourself, find what truly drives your passion, and pursue it relentlessly, you will certainly achieve worthy success. This hand also indicates that you currently hold assets, meaning middle age will not be as difficult as before. At 46, middle age, you have been steadily accumulating wealth step by step, slow but sure. A clear and steady headline shows that you are intelligent, practical, and adaptable in all circumstances. Another notable point lies at the end of your headline. There are branches extending upward toward the Mount of Jupiter, located under the index finger, forming two small crosses. This is an extremely lucky sign, symbolizing that you will meet benefactors and receive a lot of support from others, especially from your wife or your wife's family. Upon marriage, you will benefit from your wife's blessings, which may come from her being talented or from her family's resources, providing a strong foundation for your development. Overall, this hand paints a vivid picture of a powerful transformation from a troubled youth to a stable and fulfilling later life. If you continue to maintain a spirit of learning, constantly improve yourself, and nurture your relationships, your life will surely become better and better. Looking at this hand, it is clear that you have a very independent personality. Deep down, you dislike having to rely on others or depend on anyone, especially in important matters of life. You always want to solve things by yourself, even if that means carrying more pressure than most people. Because of this personality trait, your heart line has a special shape. It extends deeply into the space between the index and middle fingers. This indicates a sensitive but closed soul, someone who finds it difficult to share their true feelings with others. Just below this heart line, there are many small secondary lines that intersect or form small spots. These signs show that you have experienced considerable psychological pressure, especially between the ages of 35 and 45. Most of these pressures relate to family and relationships. It is possible that during this period, you went through a major marriage crisis or conflicts in your love life that left you feeling exhausted and lost. All these signs suggest that you are a very introspective person with a strong ego, always longing to break free from emotional attachments to be your true self. Because of this, you are prone to marital difficulties. For some people, this may lead to separation, divorce, or relationships that go nowhere because you do not truly allow yourself to depend on others. Overall, your finances are not a major concern, as you have the ability and determination to achieve material goals. But on the flip side, love and emotions are a dark area, a large empty corner in your inner world that sometimes makes you feel lonely, difficult to share with, and misunderstood by many. One more detail worth noting is that in the center of your palm, there is an X mark, but it is an uneven, off-center X. In palmistry, this sign represents a person with a kind-hearted nature and spiritual aspirations, but who often suffers disadvantages in life. You are someone who treats others very well, friends, colleagues, and society, and you are always ready to help them when needed. But when you face difficulties, very few people truly step forward to help you. This creates a feeling of abandonment, an invisible isolation, making you often want to open your heart but not know whom to open up to. Even with your own family members, sometimes you appear cold and quiet, not because you don't care for them, but because you are used to carrying everything alone. This way of living makes it difficult for others to approach you, creating an invisible distance in close relationships. From your 30s until now, it can be said that you have been going through a period of spiritual loneliness. You keep all your emotions inside, find it hard to share, and sometimes you yourself cannot name this feeling of emptiness. It's not sadness, nor exactly fatigue. It is a prolonged solitude that comes from always being the one who takes the lead, always holding yourself strong, but rarely having someone by your side who truly understands what you want or need. On your palm, the mounts are quite prominent, indicating that your later years will be quite good. You have support from your family and children, which provides a solid foundation to help you develop your career and life. In particular, your Mount of Luna, moon, is very prominent. This is a sign of someone who lives with strong morals, always thinks positively, and has compassion for others. When combined with the special characteristic of a triple line hand, this further confirms that you have great faith in spirituality, Buddhism, karma, and self-cultivation. You live with a focus on faith, goodness, and constantly seek to improve yourself through spiritual values. With a hand bearing so many distinctive features, if you have the opportunity and time, you should participate in a religious or meditation-related activity to cultivate your inner self and maximize your existing strengths. This is a hand with a very clear spiritual cultivation path. If you know how to cultivate it properly, you will surely achieve more success, not only in material wealth, but also in spiritual fulfillment. Currently, your financial situation is average, not overly abundant, but not lacking either. However, this is not your final limit. If you continue to cultivate yourself and focus on your strengths, you can definitely reach further and achieve greater accomplishments. Regarding your career path, your palm shows very few major obstacles. Your fate line rises clearly, which is a sign of someone capable and with good communication skills. You are well suited for work related to business, trading, or investing, fields where you can be independent and fully utilize your personal abilities. Additionally, you have a fairly good career line, indicating that if you work in an office or organizational environment, you are likely to attract attention from superiors and be promoted to higher positions thanks to your management skills and personal effort. However, one point you should be aware of is that you tend to be overly accommodating or trust others too much. This sometimes causes you to suffer losses in relationships as well as in life in general. Learn to place your trust selectively and protect yourself from unnecessary risks. Overall, this hand shows that you have great potential for development if you know how to harness it. Although your current living standard is average, with keen intuition, faith in spirituality, and a progressive mindset, you will gradually achieve corresponding success. Furthermore, this hand is also suitable for doing business or working far from home, such as working abroad or in an environment far from your homeland. These will be good opportunities for you to develop your career. When conditions allow, you can return to settle down with your family. This is a path that will bring you much luck and stability. The above is a detailed analysis of your palm lines. If you are watching this video, I wish you soon achieve much success and fulfillment in life. Thank you very much.